wananchi here expressing their disappointment,
but they're not leaving until the vote.
Siasa mbalimbali wakijitosa debeni.
The tribunal is swamped with the news abuse coming in.
Yote yatambuliwa na wapigaji kura.
We shall be bringing you up to speed. I don't belong to the group that loses.
Hakika ni Wakenya watakaoamua katika uchaguzi wa Agosti 8 mwaka huu.
Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Victoria Rubadiri. Family and friends of the late Nicholas Biwott are at the Lee Funeral Home to view the body of the late minister who passed on earlier today. Biwott has been eulogized as a politician who changed the lives of many in his chaos south, as well as remember him as a key ally of former President Daniel Arap Moi.
Yeah, we confirm that he's rested, and further information will be given once the family meets.
Information is that he fell ill in the morning and he was brought to the hospital here in Nairobi Hospital, and when he arrived, I think he had already passed on, and but that is information that again will be confirmed once we have full information on that.
Honorable Biwott was among those leaders who gave guidance, particularly those of us who are young. I remember a number of times he has called me and the governor for Elgeyo Marakwet, where there seemed to have been issues, and given us guidance on how to do, to conduct ourselves, and even how to work for the county and serve the people. So as a county, we've lost one of our elders, one of our political mentors, and it's indeed a big loss for us.
And the joint organizing committee that is making arrangements for the funeral service of the late Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Inkaiseri has asked Kenyans to visit Interior and Coordination Ministry offices across the country to sign condolence books. The requiem service will be held this Thursday, while the burial will take place on Saturday, the 15th of July.
In honor of the late Cabinet Secretary, the government set up a website, www.kaiseri.or.ke, where Kenyans can follow funeral and burial arrangements, as well as lodge their tributes to the departed Cabinet Secretary. I want also to thank Kenyans who have come out in large numbers to condole with the family through visitation and also sending messages to the family and friends at this period of great difficulty as they continue to fathom the extent of the loss which has affected the family, friends and relatives, and indeed the country. We want to express our solidarity with the family of the late departed Cabinet Secretary. And therefore, my prayer is that may the Lord continue to bless Kenyans who are standing in that solidarity.
And Robert Momanyi, a candidate for the Makadara constituency seat on an Economic Freedom Party ticket, has been fined by the IEBC's Committee on Code of Conduct. Complaints against Momanyi had been filed by a Jubilee Party supporter, Fred Hussein, who accused Momanyi of using Jubilee colors and Jubilee Party leaders and candidates in his campaign posters, a move he claims is misleading the voters.
This committee hereby gives the following orders: that a formal warning is issued to the accused Robert Momanyi to desist henceforth from hand-branding his campaign materials with photographic images of the Jubilee Party presidential candidate and his running mate, as well as that of a Nairobi County gubernatorial candidate. That accused person to immediately remove all posters and campaign materials bearing images of Jubilee Party presidential candidate and running mate. Accused Robert Momanyi to pay a fine of 250,000 within 48 hours.
Now, Momanyi has 48 hours to comply with the ruling or else be barred from participating in the elections. He has, however, applied for a review, terming the ruling as too harsh. Now, moving on, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi and Jubilee leaders have lashed out at the judiciary over the ruling on the printing of ballot papers, which they say put obstacles ahead of the general election. They allege that the judiciary is working with the opposition to frustrate the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and throw the elections into disarray. Enoch Sikolia reports.
It was during the launch of a pre-election manifesto by Governor Simon Kachapin of West Pokot that Jubilee leaders took a swipe at the judiciary over its rulings that they say favor the opposition. With its daggers drawn against the third arm of government, Jubilee is of the view that the institution led by Chief Justice David Maraga is dancing with the opposition with the aim of scuttling the election.
Ajipange na awe tayari kwa uchaguzi tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8. Waacheni kuweka vizuizi hapa na pale.
The leaders defended President Uhuru Kenyatta's utterances against the judiciary. Utterances that have been termed as unfortunate by the Law Society of Kenya and the Central Organization of Trade Unions, KOTU.
Just recently, the NASA Brigade told the Court of Appeal not to interfere with the decision that had been made by the High Court and threatened to demonstrate. How come the Law Society kept quiet about that threat to the judges? We want to say, allow Kenyans to express themselves one way or other about decisions that you make.
Similar criticisms against the judiciary were made by devolution CS Mwangi Kiunjuri following the move by the High Court ordering IEBC to repeat the tendering of the presidential ballot papers.
Is it true that wewe kiongozi fulani wa upinzani bibi yako ni dada ya huyu jaji moja ambaye alikalia mahakama? If that is true, ni kusemekana tayari kuna mambo ya familia inaletwa kwa siasa. Hawa watu wanaweza kweli kata kesi kwa ukweli?
Jubilee leaders maintain that judicial reforms will be the first thing immediately Jubilee recaptures power in August.
Huyu Ondunga alikata kesi ya kwanza, alafu tena akamurudisha kwa ile kesi. Tena yeye Chief Justice, did he conduct due diligence? Manake this is a very sensitive case to establish whether they have interest. The bench he picked had interest.
Enoch Sikolia, NTV.
And 64% of Kenyans believe that the ongoing political campaigns for the upcoming elections are not free of corruption. This is according to an opinion poll conducted by the Catholic Justice and Peace Commission and Hakimani that focused on duty and responsibility in the 2017 election and beyond. Even so, 61.1% of Kenyans do not agree that clans at the county level and tribe at the national level determine who wins the election.
With the campaign season reaching its high point and the election drawing closer, 64% of Kenyans say no, the ongoing campaigns are not free of corruption in terms of bribery, voter buying and intimidation. 22.4% say the campaigns are free of corruption and intimidation. 10.5% do not know, while 2.2% do not care. With just 3 weeks left before Kenyans get to decide who they want to occupy the house on the hill, they have exhibited mixed feelings and perceptions about the credibility of the electoral process. About 50% have faith in the process, 64.9% think there is corruption in the process, while 65% think the ongoing campaigns are not fair. Even as the IEBC goes back to the drawing board over the issue of printing ballot papers, Kenyans have some doubts on the credibility of the electoral process at the national level, with 49% of them believing so, than those at the county level. At the county level, 50% of the respondents are positive about the credibility of the process. 48% of the respondents who participated in the poll say that women candidates are not receiving fair treatment from voters as their male counterparts. 41% believe the contrary, while 9% say they don't know and 2% don't care. If an election were held today, Kenyans would make their choices not purely based on party politics, but different factors that they feel are closer to them than just individuals. In a poll conducted by the Catholic Church, 43.5% of the respondents will elect a presidential candidate based on their leadership qualities, whereas 27.8% tend towards past performance and achievement, regardless of whether a candidate was in government or opposition. Of the seemingly minor reasons, 7.6% of them lean towards political party affiliation, while 18.5% would vote based on the manifesto. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
And in sports, with less than 24 hours to the start of the IAAF World Under-18 Youth Championship at Kasarani Stadium, students across the country are rushing to secure tickets through planting trees under the IAAF Community Legacy Program. Seth Olale interacted with students from St. Mary's School, Nairobi, who are using the initiative in order to win themselves tickets.
It is a rush against time for students at St. Mary's School, Nairobi, who are eager to attend the historic IAAF World Under-18 Championships on Wednesday afternoon at Kasarani Stadium. In order to do so, students and youth groups from across the country must plant not less than 50 trees in order to secure tickets to the championships under the IAAF Community Legacy Program.
All these countries, all the athletes will go back to their countries. And we need something that will be left behind to remind us of this activity that has happened in Kenya.
The IAAF Community Legacy Program is aiming at planting 4,000 trees in schools located in Nairobi and a further 3,000 trees around Kasarani Sports Complex. 100,000 trees have already been planted at Dondori Forest in Nakuru County, with 17 schools outside the capital also expected to embrace the initiative.
It's just following Wangari Maathai's, ideal of planting trees, and it's just good for the environment, because the more trees you have, the better it is. The more rain you have, the better the quality of the air. Also, the IAAF, I think it's called. It's the first time being held in Kenya, and this is just to support that.
I'd like to urge my fellow friends and people all around that you should try and conserve the trees, and don't always see a tree and just want to cut it. Look at the other advantage.
Other than being gifted with a ticket to watch the Global Games live at Kasarani Stadium, each student planting a tree will be issued with a certificate from IAAF.
Planting a tree is good, but it's not enough to just plant the tree. You have to nurture the tree. You have to make sure the tree grows. So what will happen is, after the tree planting exercise, a few months after this, we will come back again to check to see that the trees are actually growing.
The thousands of trees planted across the country on this occasion will remain a constant reminder that Kenya held the last edition of the IAAF World Under-18 Youth Championship. Seth Olale, NTV, St. Mary's School, Nairobi.
And the IAAF President Sebastian Coe had a busy day on the eve of the start of the IAAF World Under-18 Championships. Lord Coe met President Uhuru Kenyatta at State House, then toured the athletics village at Kenyatta University before holding a media briefing and a tour at the Kasarani Stadium. Lord Coe was also set to meet the refugee team coached by the legendary Tegla Lorupe. The first race of the championships will be the 100 meters boys heats at 9:55 a.m. with Kenya represented by Elijah Matayo. The opening ceremony will be at 4 p.m. with Kenya's first shot at a medal being in the 3,000 meter girls final, where Immaculate Chepkirui and Beatrice Chebet will fly the flag at 7:40 p.m. And that's the very latest from the NTV Newsroom at this hour. Thanks for watching. I'm Victoria Rubadiri. More news coming your way at 7 on NTV Jioni and at 9 on NTV Tonight. Until then, enjoy the rest of your viewing.